The green light is now. Welcome to the podcast, everybody. This is my buddy, and this is me, and we're gonna talk about a bunch of fucking shit tonight. How you doing tonight, brother?
I'm doing well, bro. Osama bin Laden.
Osama bin Laden. I'm doing fine as a frog here myself, and in fact, I think I actually need to light this cigarette to get this podcast fully activated, and then we'll be cooking with gas. So, we're going to do some stand-up comedy Monday. How does it make you feel?
Makes me feel anxious. It makes me feel worried. And it makes me feel alive.
Me too, man. I'm totally scared to death, but I'm also excited at the exact same time.
It's something new, man.
Yeah, it's something new, but, also old. Because, how long have people been doing stand-up comedy? Like, jesters and...
Forever.
Forever, you need somebody to fuck around and play around with ideas so the truth can be revealed. A lot of people want to dance around shit. They don't want to admit things. They don't want to say how they really feel. But this goofy motherfucker in all this face paint with these funny fucking hats and bells all over himself, he can say the truth. Yet some knight in shining armor can never say the truth because he's got to do his job. He's got to be serious. But, having the job of a jester is kind of one of the coolest... Oh, shit. One of the coolest jobs to have in the entire world.
I agree.
Over here. Yeah, man, because, they're able to say things that most people think deep down inside. But, you got this serious job, you got this career in mind, you got all these things going on for you. There's no way in hell you could say it because it would compromise your position. But if you dedicate your whole total life, like, Joe Rogan, Duncan Trussell, Ari Shaffir, Sam Kinison, Bill Hicks, all these people dedicated their lives to this craft, they're able to, pick apart and critique all of the ridiculousness in culture and not get fired somehow because that's their little job. That's what they're supposed to do. Oh, you said something offensive. Dude, that's kind of my job. That's what I'm supposed to do here. So how do you feel about, diving into that world of, really picking apart and critiquing the culture that's kind of turned ridiculous nowadays? Don't you think? It's kind of crazy what we're doing.
No, it's a breath of fresh air to get on stage and, have a license to explore things. You can't even talk about it, randomly at a bar.
I dropped this case of beer that we're drinking, and every time I open it, it explodes on us. So that's what the awkward pauses are. We're like, are we going to flood this whole area with a bunch of fucking Coors Light, or are we going to make it through this podcast or not? I don't know. We're here to find out. So we went over a bit of our material that we were going to do Monday. How often do you think these pros really drill their shit? Or do you think they just kind of think about it all day long and it's just part of their daily meditation?
I think some people are naturally funny, but I think most people that are funny on stage are running this by their friends 100%.
Yeah.
And it might not be the most qualified individual on YouTube, but it's they got faith in this person. They know what's funny.
Right.
You got a funny license.
You got a funny license.
If I can make them laugh, then it's funny.
You got this license to kill on stage. You can say basically whatever you want, except there are some instances Do you remember that guy Kramer from Seinfeld? He said some fucking controversial shit and he got taken off stage.
Yeah, he went too hard.
You think he went too hard? He was too resentful in his comedy.
He was too resentful and not being like as funny as it could have been.
Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, he got a little dark and resentful.
Less jokes and more dark, and it's like you're not up here doing heavy metal.
Yeah. No, you're not. You're trying to get up there and make people laugh, and then it got a little fucking dark and angry. You know, he let the hecklers win. You know, and that's like the cardinal rule, I feel like, with stand-up comedy. You cannot let the heckler win. Like, you have to outsmart the heckler. I was watching this dude. He was telling jokes about the Middle East and Israel and all this stuff. And somebody said, "What, you know, are you anti-Semitic or what? What are you doing?" And then he said, "No, dude, like, I'm just trying to, like, flesh out what's going on and help people laugh so that we have some room to really have a conversation that's healthy other than my side, your side, and then there's a war." And then the dude didn't know what to say. Because that's a really articulate response to that.
He's just playing in the middle.
Yeah, he's playing the middle. And that's the point of comedy. Like, you have to play the middle in order for people to open up a conversation, a dialogue, have that laughter.
And if anybody's on a side, there's something silly about that side.
There's something silly about that side, right? Like, comedians are meant to dance on the razor's edge. You know, we're not meant to be on one side or the other. You're supposed to dance on that edge.
Yeah, and it's obvious it's boring.
Yeah. You're supposed to point this thing out on this side and point that thing out on that side and have both sides laugh in the audience. You know, like we were watching some comedy earlier and this guy said, "Oh, I split the audience, my bad." Like, that's a folly in stand-up comedy. If you split the audience, that's like, ooh, that is my fault. Like, I didn't mean to split the audience. I'm just trying to explore these ideas and figure it out. And it's like, oh, that's not something that brings us together. That's my fault. I didn't mean to do that.
That sounded weird.
Yeah, I sounded weird. I sound like I'm on this side more than the other side, and that's not true. I'm trying to bring everybody together to think about these solutions for the future.
It's a tightrope app, for sure. But that's why it's so fun. There's like so many places to fall.
Right. And there's no net beneath you. Like in a circus.
Yeah, it's like extreme, like social.
Yeah.
Extreme social experience.
Right.
A lot of people like skydiving, they like base jumping, they like rafting. But like socially speaking, like thing we do most adrenaline is like, hey, go tell some jokes for 5 minutes.
Boo, what a rush.
Make us laugh for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Alright, if I can, I will. Doesn't everyone would love to be funny.
Well, yeah. Well, maybe some people. I don't know about like scientists and journalists and things like that. You know,
they still make dumbass jokes, man.
You think? Yeah, I guess they do make little physics jokes and shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're
Everybody
right.
Everybody wants to make people laugh. It's universal.
It is. You're right about that. It is universal, is it not?
Nerds have jokes. Rednecks have jokes. Just to shit on each other. Because it's funny.
What do you think that process is? Why do you think that process is there within everybody?
Yeah, I think it's a survival instinct. I
You think
life's
so?
so fucking brutal. Like, if you don't laugh at it, like, you're not going to accept it.
Right. Yeah, if you don't laugh, you cry.
Winter's long when it's cold. If you can't make some jokes during winter, when you're hungry, you're like, you're not. Good luck.
Good luck, man. If you can't laugh about what you're doing while you're doing it, you're probably not going to last that long. Because you had that resentment built up, and you're like, oh, I got to chop this wood, or I got to fucking fillet this fish. I'm like, whoa. But, you know, if somebody's like singing a song while they're doing it, that's a much different vibe. That opens up a future for people when you're having that good time, that positive vibe. Opening up yourself to different experiences and actually having a good time doing the mundane.
Most people don't like what they're doing. If you figure out like a way to like what you're doing on a day-to-day basis, you won. You won. And that's like poor people under communism, and that's also like rich people under capitalism. But it also depends on like what like amount of self-delusion you're like willing to elicit yourself to.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people found that thing. But are they like really obsessed with it? No. But it fucking works. It fucking works.
It fucking works.
People are working out here. You gotta respect it.
Yeah, you think about all the men working on plumbing, the roads, air conditioning, heaters, roofing, pouring foundations for houses so they don't fall apart. There's so much that goes into it.
Making sex robots.
With
There's a lot of important jobs out here.
With air fryers in their belly. You said that. You said that to me, right?
Yeah, I mean, once sex robots get air fryers in their stomach, I think women are not so important.
Yeah, dude. Like, if you can grow a baby in a fish tank and have a robot wife with an air fryer in her belly, and then she like gives you chicken nuggets and fries every day, or whatever you want. You can put steak in an air fryer. I've had a steak in an air fryer. It's pretty fucking good, actually.
I think an air fryer cooks anything.
Yeah, dude. It's fucking like it's the next level invention. It's beyond the microwave. Microwaves fuck up food. You put a sandwich in there from Arby's, dude. It's gonna cook the bread perfectly 5 minutes at the temperature of 370 degrees Fahrenheit. 5 minutes on an air fryer. You get a perfectly good Arby's sandwich reheated from the refrigerator.
We get a good air fryer and a sex robot. Women are obsolete.
How do you think women will feel when they are?
It doesn't matter.
No, it does matter because it's not a real human mother-father.
Their values went down tenfold, but go ahead.
Do you think they know they're about to be replaced? Do you think they care? Do you think they're like in that mindset, or like what do you think?
I think they're doing like an initial. They're already trying to nuke. I think they're being like, we don't want to fuck. We're asexual. I think they're launching the first nuke.
They're launching.
We already didn't want to.
They're launching the first.
They're so emotionally smart that they're like, we can see that they don't want to fuck us for long. We're going to go ahead and say that we kind of not even interested in the first place. It's high school. It's high school. High level autism.
High level autism. Well, you know, have you ever run into autistic chicks? Like, they're kind of cool, man. What's cool about them is they're very straightforward.
Yeah, I would very much appreciate autistic chick.
Yeah, they're very like.
Most of them are like super cryptic.
Well, no. They'll say, "Oh, I like you," or "I don't like you." They're extremely direct. Which is a weird difference between, you know, regular chicks because they're so cryptic and play all those games all day long and ghost you and do all this weird shit and you don't know what to think. It's like topsy-turvy world. But like autistic people, like guys and chicks, they're like, "Oh, I don't like you," or "Hey, I kind of like you. Like you're kind of interesting. Do you want to hang out?" There's this directness that might be like maybe it's not autism, maybe it's not a mental illness, maybe it's a natural response.
Dude, if a Down syndrome person tells you they love you, they're fucking like.
Well, it's not the same as a Down syndrome person. Like Down syndrome people
I'm telling you that's awesome. That's the best compliment ever.
Right.
It's like that's how they feel in the moment. There is no social games.
No social games is right. That's what's kind of interesting about it. Like there's no game about it.
I feel like this. I love you.
Take it or
Cool.
leave it. Yeah. Take it or leave it. You can either be like, I'm into you too, or you're fucking weird, and then you can move on.
Play however the fuck you want to play it, but it is pure.
It's
It's
pure.
real.
Yeah. I'm not totally convinced that there's something wrong with those people.
It's almost
I
like,
think it's just a response.
anytime like people have like real wild emotions anymore, we just call them autistic. It's like we're calling like any like real emotion these days like autistic or bipolar or weird.
Right.
And like in reality, it's like, yeah, people feel crazy things. Like this has existed since like like Romeo and Juliet. Like this has always been wild. Romance has always been wild between men and women.
Yeah.
And now, like when people like are like slightly out of the norm, it's like this autistic lady, this guy's a serial killer. It's like, no, he probably is just like a healthy romantic person.
Right. He learned it from the movies. He learned it from the books.
No, he just probably is what he is, man.
Yeah.
The movies and the books come from a healthy man.
Come from that vibe that people resonate with, and that's why they're popular. Yeah. I can
No,
feel
we
that.
came first. Well, our desire for women came way before the stories and
The
the
movies
books.
and the books, yeah.
The
And the
desire
songs.
was been there for a long time, man.
Right.
Yeah, and like a lot of guys like fuck up and try to base their desire off of like common culture. It's like you created that shit, man.
Right.
Your lineage is the god of that.
Yeah, the fucking guy with a boombox in the rain.
Our
Like-
lineage is the god of that.
Right.
Being like, I like you. I'm gonna do whatever it takes.
Yeah.
You fucking have good sex.
Why do you think that's not rewarded anymore?
Another motherfucking culture, man. Common culture, women want to use their free will in front of other women so much to the point where it's like turning a motherfucker down is brownie points.
Yeah,
It's
like
currency.
yeah, like they get points out of how many dudes they turn down
10
and never
guys,
actually
10
be with.
guys try to get with me tonight.
Yeah.
When it used to just be like, it's all about that one love connection.
Right.
The 10 rejections don't mean a goddamn thing, or the 10 guys you fucked don't mean a goddamn. It's about like finding the one. It used to be in the 90s.
What do you think it is now?
Even in the early 2000s, I feel like it was people was getting weirder and it was getting more sexual, but like it was still about the one. The one.
The one.
Everybody
To
was
be
after
with
the
forever.
one.
To marry, to have kids with.
Dude, a lot of people gave up on the one these days.
Why do you think that is?
I mean, a lot of the music and the art it don't help. When we're watching people like hoe out and stuff, and like earn our coolest art form, it don't help. But honestly, I think women were a little bit bored, and they want to change it up.
You think they're happy with that change up?
No, I think they're course correcting now, and a lot of boss bitches don't want to work their fucking ass off to like make more than a man.
Mm-hmm.
But with that being said, like I don't fucking blame them for pushing back. Like hell, if I've been stuck in the house for that many years, I'm like, what can I do out here to work? Like I get to fucking experiment. I get it, but you do it, and it's like it's not what it's cracked up to be. It fucking sucks.
Right. Yeah, it sucks to
A lot
work
of men
60,
have lost
70
their
hours.
soul out there.
Yeah. Yeah, working those long shifts, working all week, working their life away. So, what kind of motivation do men have anymore to work to that extent if there's women doing it as well and they're competing with them?
If you want to bang, you got to match them or get better.
How do you match a 6-figure salary with another woman?
Do what she's doing better than she's doing.
Do you think there's a way that, say, 50% of men can achieve that?
No.
So where do you think that leaves 50% of men?
It's cold out here on the streets. It's cold out here.
Yeah.
And that's a J. Cole lyric, but he's right. He's right. It's cold out here for a lot of men, and no one gives a shit. And no one's going to give a shit. And that's reality.
What do you think it would take for people to give a shit?
You're thinking about the wrong way. We're
Mm-hmm.
not supposed to give a shit.
What do you
Because
mean?
as soon as we give a shit about the bottom 30% of men, we stifle like human evolution. The bottom 30% of men are not supposed to reproduce.
What about the top 50%?
They're fucking garbage, dude.
Yeah, they're garbage. They're not meant to carry on their bloodline. Is what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
Why would you want the bottom 30% of humans to carry on?
What about the top 50% of humans? Human males.
Top 50? Maybe.
What do you think the number is? Is it top 25 that matters? Top 10?
Top 50 sounds gross, honestly.
Sounds gross.
I think it might be kind of realistic. But if women had any say, it'd be top 20.
So these women would have to share those top 20. They, like, one man in the top 20 would have probably 30 wives.
Dude, they're down.
Right?
Women don't really get mad at a body count.
You know, kind of like,
I mean, they'll get jealous, but they won't get... They're not dunsies.
Well, yeah, if a man has enough money to buy you a house and buy his next mistress a house and the next 5 a house and support the children, like, do you think there's no problem with women in their mind dealing with that?
It fixes a lot of problems.
How so?
Well, a lot of women don't want to fuck a lot of men. And if he's in that situation, it's more likely like she actually wants to fuck you. So it's just going to help her get off. And it's really not even, I don't even think it's moral. I just think it's like easier for her to get off.
Mm-hmm. For the money?
I don't know, just everything. If a guy's cool, and he's got a bunch of bitches, and he's like making money, and he's got properties, like, everything's just easier, man.
It's just easier.
Because the thing with it being a woman is awesome. Like, you can bang any dude you want.
Right.
Why not bang a dude that's cool?
Well, doesn't it become kind of difficult for women after they have a child to get on that market? Or do you think that doesn't matter at that point?
It's not difficult to get on the court, but it is difficult to get drafted.
Okay.
Any beautiful woman can get on the court and play a game.
Yeah.
Probably have a good night. Or score some points.
Well, not for
She ain't gonna stay on the team, dude.
not for men her age. Maybe she can get younger dudes. You know, that's where the term, I guess, cougar comes from, or a milf or what have you. This older woman that can kind of get younger dudes. She can pull a younger dude, but she can't really pull a dude in his 30s because he's like wise to that shit. He knows what she is.
100% a beautiful woman can pull a lot of men. I don't even care if she has kids. I've seen it happen.
Well, wouldn't you say for, most men, like, long-term wise, sure, a one-night stand, but I'm talking long-term wise. That's kind of a handicap for a woman if she has a child, for a lot of men.
Yes, and if you ask women if they want to be with someone that's already a kid, they're like, no, I mean, it's a little bit of a roadblock.
Yeah.
Men and women normally admit that.
Yeah, it's like an
But dude,
upfront
if you're
thing.
fun to be around, you're fun to fuck. Like, things are going to happen.
Right.
And that's for a man or a woman. Somebody's going to find you And depending on how funny you are, you might be better off saying no several times.
What do you mean by that?
Everybody wants to have fun. Everybody wants to have fun. So if you're good at having fun, everybody's going to fuck it. They'll grab a slice of your pie and have a good time.
Right.
Not everybody's worth giving up a slice of that pie.
Too much energy to expend.
You're going to be left.
You're gonna be left.
Exacerbated. Exhausted. Malnourished. You're going to need some water.
Let's circle back down to this comedy routine that we're approaching here. What are some of your favorite comedians that you've seen throughout your life that have kind of inspired you?
Some of my favorite comedians are my recall's garbage right now. I can't get in this podcast, man.
Yeah? You fucked up?